Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Wednesday. You know, I get up and I read a lot, and I watch a bunch of news shows, and I read a bunch of news articles and everything. And I try to put in the effort to bring stories that make a difference and show you our news here in Ocala. And so every morning I get up and I read a lot of different websites. I read a lot of posts on Facebook from the Ocala Police Department, the Marion County Sheriff's Office, and I came across this one this morning. The Unified Drug Enforcement Strike Team. Now bear with me, this is wordy, but I'm going to read the whole thing to you so you can understand where my outrage is coming from, and hopefully yours will be too. The Unified Drug Enforcement Strike Team arrested Alejandro Mendez and Kayla Sabalana for armed trafficking of fentanyl, conspiracy to manufacture fentanyl tablets, possession of drug paraphernalia, and ownership, lease, rental, or possession for trafficking in or manufacturing a controlled substance. This is the second time a large amount of fentanyl and weapons were seized from these two subjects. Let me read that again. This is the second time a large amount of fentanyl and weapons were seized from these two people. In April of 2022, the Unified Drug Enforcement Strike Team began investigating Mendez and Sabalana, who were both out on bond after being arrested in July of 2021 for armed trafficking fentanyl for the second time. During the recent investigation, agents obtained a search warrant for a location controlled by the duo. On April 7th, the Unified Drug Enforcement Strike Team coordinated operation and served the search warrant with the assistance of the Ocala Police Department SWAT team. As a result of the investigation, the Unified Drug Enforcement Strike Team agents seized firearms, cash, a large amount of fentanyl, and other items used to distribute the drug. During the operation, the Unified Drug Enforcement Strike Team seized the following: 2 pounds of fentanyl, over $8,900 in currency, and 3 guns. Now, as we all know, the influx of fentanyl contributes to the increased number of overdoses. It continues to be a focus of the police departments here in our town. For those that don't know, fentanyl is a highly addictive and extremely lethal substance that is contributing to the overdose deaths not only here in Marion County but all across the country. It's being broken down and mixed with other drugs, including marijuana, cocaine, and heroin. Here's where you think you're pissed off now? Here's where it gets really crazy. Mendez is being held with no bond at the Marion County Jail. So Alejandro Mendez is not getting out of jail. He's being held with no bond. Kayla Sabalino, she was being held on an $86,000 bond. She's already bonded out. They got arrested for the same charge in July of 2021 for the second time. So this was the third time for them. Trafficking of fentanyl, conspiracy to manufacture fentanyl tablets, possession of drug paraphernalia, ownership, lease, rental, or possession for trafficking in or manufacturing fentanyl. This is the second time a large amount, 2 pounds, folks, of fentanyl and weapons were seized from this group, but it's the third time they've been arrested. They were both out on bond right now for a charge in July of 2021 for the exact same thing. Who the hell is the judge that gave them a bond this time? Kayla Sabalina should be in jail as well. There should have been no bond given for this. And then, what bail bonds company granted the bond? Because it was a bail bond. I checked. It was not a cash or surety bond or real estate, so it was a 10% bond. So her $86,000, some bail bonds company gave $8,600 for her. And bail bonds, it's not a right for a bail bonds to come bail you out. Bail bonds company should have said, nope, not touching that one. Hope you can come up with $86,000 on your own. We're not touching it. They can do that. A bail bonds company can do that. But what judge sets bail? You know, we always go to the voting booth and you know who your county commissioners are, and you know who your city council is, and you know your property appraiser and your tax appraiser, and, tax collector. But then you get to voting for the judges, the municipal judges. Nobody really knows who they are unless you've been in front of them. Nobody knows it because they can't openly campaign. There's different campaign rules for judges than there are for other politicians. We need to know who the hell this judge was that for the third time let this girl out of jail. She was already out on bond. How the hell did she get out? My understanding is when you're out on bond and you get arrested again, your bond's revoked for what you were out on bond for originally. We need to start holding judges accountable, it looks like. These are two hardened criminals that are spreading death. That's what they're doing. They're trafficking death. You know, fentanyl is an overdose that is a death waiting to happen. I have a very good friend of mine who lost his best friend, and his best friend's wife almost succumbed to it on a drug overdose from fentanyl right here in Marion County. I promise you, if he's listening to this show this morning, which I think he is, you think I'm angry right now. Here are people who not once, not twice, but 3 times a judge has granted bail, at least to one of them. He didn't grant bail this time to Alejandro, thank goodness. But he did to Kayla Sabalina. 3rd time for the same charge. 2nd time, they had major weight. They had 2 pounds of fentanyl, folks. You know how much death that would cause? I don't either, but a hell of a lot. Let's go with that. What the hell is wrong with this judge? And I got to find out who the judge was. It's very easy to do. I'm going to find out who the judge was. And believe me, I'm publicly going to call his rear end out. Or hers. Well, Tom, you don't know. There may have been No, shut up. She was out on bond for trafficking. She got arrested again for the same charge. Revoked the bond on the first charge. Keep the woman in jail with the scumbag boyfriend or husband or whoever he is that she was working with. Something needs to be, if this judge is up for re-election, judge's ass needs to be out of a job. Stripped of your robe, Your Honor, because you didn't do a damn thing to honor anybody. The hell is wrong with people? How did this woman get a bond? First off, if you got arrested in 2021 with that much weight, how'd you get a bond in the first place? I know something. Here's the thing. Tom, do you know what you're talking? I know a little bit about the justice system. I was, on the defendant side of the table numerous times in my 20s. You all know on this radio program, I was not a choir boy. I don't deny that I was not a choir boy. It's part of what made me the person I am. And I know maybe, there's nothing worse to a smoker than a reformed smoker, than a non-smoking former smoker. Well, there may be nothing worse to a drug dealer than a past addict who sold drugs just to keep his habit going, i.e. me in my 20s. But this is ridiculous. 2 pounds of fentanyl, sizable weight for the 2nd time, and the 3rd offense. They had been arrested in 2021 for the 2nd time for this offense. Now they just were arrested again. And a judge sets bond? And a bail bonds company pays the bond? Huh? I mean, am I wrong? 622-9622 is the number to call. 622-9622 is the number to call. I don't think I'm wrong. My friend Natalie's in the building. Natalie, do you think I'm wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong.
I mean, how the hell did somebody get bond?
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to know who the judge is, because
it's got to be a voting booth thing, folks. If we can find out who this judge is, which is easy to do, you got to let it be known at the voting polling booth that that's unacceptable. I mean, you're citizens of Marion County. This is your county. I mean, am I wrong here? Is this judge okay? Are you okay with this judge setting bail for these scumbags? Are you okay with the bail bonds company? I know it's, capitalist society, but are you okay with doing business with the bail bonds company that let this woman out after 3 times she's been arrested for this? Twice with serious weight. And you hear us talk with the cops all the time. We're in the middle of an epidemic with opioids and fentanyl. If people died at the rate they're dying of overdoses in this town, if they died at that rate at the hands of a serial killer and nobody did anything and nobody was being arrested, you would replace every government official you could think of. There's no different. People are dying at an alarming rate, and judges are letting. What the hell? The cops can't do anymore. Cops have arrested them 3 times. When are judges going to be held responsible? When are bail bonds companies going to be held responsible? 352-622-9622 is the number to call. We got to take a break. We'll be right back taking your calls at WOCA 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is The Source.
Johnny, what are you doing in the bathroom? What are you saying? Wait, where are your toy cars? Oh no, tell me you didn't. Honey, call Mike Scott Plumbing.